All right. Topic 3, which
Jacob's topic.
is
Heize.
Haze. All right.
Yeah, we
Good.
get to end on a low note. Spoiler. We'll
Oof.
get there though.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Yes. So I guess I could just yeah. We're reviewing Haze. Her new album is called She's Fine, and spoiler, it's good.
But
All
And
is
she's
she
right.
also
fine though?
not fine because she's getting drunk on the album cover.
Is she?
That
Is
is
it like?
true.
Well, she's drinking alcohol. I assume
Oh,
alcohol. It's like her taking a drink.
oh, I thought it. I
So
thought it was like
Yeah, it's
sparkling water.
definitely alcohol. And
Maybe
there's
I would
all
it's.
you
say,
can see inside the fridge is alcohol too
yeah,
on the album
she's not
cover.
fine.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways, first song on the album is Her Fine Weather. And again, like right off the bat, the
Which
production
the
work on the
music video
track.
for some reason has a different name,
It's she's
but
fine. Parentheses her fine
her
weather.
fine weather. But on all the
Okay.
streaming sites, they don't have the she's fine part.
Okay. So yeah, like right off the bat, the production on the track is amazing. Like the percussive beats are punchy, and like the bass synths really give the song a nice like thick texture, which I really liked. Um, and again, like Haze's like sing rap style she often uses
Yep.
goes really well with the song, and it's a great opener to the album. Like I'd say it's a definitely a Haze staple. Um, like you listen to it, you're like, oh, that's Haze, but I don't think it's um in such a way where the sound has overstayed its welcome. I think it always still
Mhm.
sounds decently fresh. So yeah, I really liked this one.
Yeah, yeah, I love the synths. It's got that like '80s style piano synths,
Mm,
over your typical like Haze style singing, and it just gives it like a nice electronica vibe. Um, and yeah, like you said, the second verse, I love her like talk or like her sing rapping style that she does in the second verse. And the chorus, I talk about this every once in a while, but like there's two kinds of repetitive in pop music, and there's catchy good repetitive, and there's like overused annoying repetitive. And I think the
yeah,
chorus is the right kind of repetitive. Like it's catchy, it's not overly bothersome in my opinion.
I agree.
um I love the piano synth solo before the second verse. And I thought there was some like great vocal layering over the last chorus to like mix up the repetitiveness a bit. um as for the music video, it's pretty standard. Haze like just kind of doing her thing. There's some like weird stuff going on, but it's like very Haze music video. I did like the color use though. Like she has like a neon green shirt on, like mixed with like more normal colors like throughout. That made it like made her shirt and made her stand out.
Mm.
Mhm. I think it's on the wrong side of repetitive. In all honesty,
Oh
just
really?
because
I saw
I
that.
that,
That's why I said in my opinion, because I saw your face when I said that. I was like, oh, Andrew doesn't like it.
I mean, just my overall thoughts on this song are it's good. It's just I have a high bar when it comes to Haze's music that like it just kind of fell flat in that sort of sense. And I for one I'm glad that she's sort of going back to like what she was putting out like uh in her early days, like the stuff that like when Dean was producing, because I thought just she was going to go away from it forever once like Jenga blew up or whatever. Um I mean, see, for the most part, I'd say I do enjoy this song. It's not necessarily the repetitiveness of she's fine" that gets me. It's just I like more musicality or creativity in my choruses as opposed to just repeating the same word over
Just
and
the
over again.
repetitive part. Yeah.
But I mean, other than that, I do enjoy like the instrumental parts, especially particularly like the bridge where how the bridge sequence goes. It leads within like this keys solo. She changes up the instrumentation when she's singing that bridge part, and then when they go back into the chorus, it's layering where she's singing the regular she's fine alongside like other lyrics, and it's kind of something that she utilized a lot in Jenga as well. So she's incorporating that style into what she was doing before, like the more R&B upbeat music that she was doing prior to that. So it's an interesting blend in that sort of sense. But yeah, I felt like it maybe if you mixed it around a bit better or didn't repeat she's fine like a billion times, I probably would have enjoyed it more. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean there it probably wasn't my favorite on the album. That's just I'd say that's probably the clearest thing I'd have to say about it.
All right. So Up next, we have So It Ends. Oh no, So It Ends? Featuring Cold.
Question mark.
Yeah, you
Yes.
gotta get the question mark in
So,
there.
comma, it ends. Question mark.
Yes.
So I thought the God, I'm freaking spacing out. Anyways, I thought the piano instrumental at first, like it led me to believe that we were being served like an ordinary ballad, but like I was
Yep.
quickly corrected. Like as soon as the percussion kicked in,
Yep.
like it was super loud and boomy, and I think the that style of percussion combined with the more like traditional like ballad instruments, I think it freshened it up a little bit.
Mm.
And I really liked her vocals on the track. Obviously, like again, Heize is kind of iconic at this point as far as like her voice.
Yeah.
Like nobody really sounds like her, or if somebody does, like you can tell they're trying to mimic her.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. And yeah, I thought so. I thought her emotional delivery was what really stood out on this one. So Cold's feature was good, but I feel like it didn't, for me at least, it didn't add anything to the song. It was like it's nothing negative towards the song, but it's not a street positive either, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it didn't like drastically improve the song.
Yeah, exactly. So overall, I think it was really good, but I think the feature was unnecessary, I guess. I think Heize could have carried it herself. Because like in off on off's music, I feel like something more similar to that would have been more suitable for a Cold feature than like this ballad. So
yeah, I agree though. Like it sounded like we were getting a standard ballad. I think like the acoustic guitar and the piano accompaniment is like pretty standard Heize ballad. But I thought it was still good. And yeah, I liked Cold's like smooth voice fitting. I think it fit the song, but like I agree with you, it didn't drastically improve the song. But yeah, once the beat came in, like you said, I love how the beat is muted to make the song softer, but it still gives it that hard hitting like sound. Like you said, it is like a hard hitting beat. Huh?
It's like boomy. It's really like
exactly.
It's like you're in a giant warehouse and you just like slam something on the floor.
Really
echoey. But it's like someone did it on the other side of the warehouse, so it's not
exactly.
overpowering their vocals, which is exactly. I like how they did that. The one thing I do have to point out is after a Cold's part, there's a humming part with like piano and strings interwoven in, and that part was amazing. Easily my favorite part of the song.
So I should like this song because it's got
Andrew
my boy.
Doesn't like this album.
I mean,
it's got your boy.
Wow.
It's got my boy. It's got my boy Cold. But I'd say, just as a general sort of preface, I mean, I wanted to cover Heize because like the features on this album are just like the supporting cast is just lit.
Yeah, starts
like more than half of the song has features, and they're
some
all
type
really
of feature.
great.
Yeah. And that being said, I enjoyed Cold's feature, but I'd say most of the song was just boring outside of that feature or outside of the chorus. I mean, it's still enjoyable, just especially because the way it's juxtaposed coming after She's Fine, it's sort of like the second movement, so to speak, because they're both in the same key. So just like the way it follows up one into the other was I did appreciate. But yeah, but I don't know, maybe just because my expectations are kind of high, seeing like names like Cold and Simon D and like the etc. on here, where I felt like, man, you probably could have made better use of Cold or that style of production or style of song that he likes to do for both his music and off on off's music.
Yep. So next up we have No Reason. I really like that they started out with the kind of like low fidelity, lo-fi piano, and then it kind of just leads right into the nice and bouncy like piano, like boom clap, like mix sort of thing. Yeah, I thought it was a really nice, funky instrumental, and obviously mixed in with Heize's smooth vocals, I think it made for a really nice track.
Yeah, I really like the bouncy piano beat, and I think her like steady high notes in the song are fantastic, and she sounds amazing as always. But I love the idea to do the more lower register rapping part after the first chorus to complement her higher singing. Like that was good dichotomy.
Yeah, I enjoy this one a lot better. Mostly just because again, it's just your standard fare like Heize R&B type of track. Also, it's a nice sort of change of pace from "She's Fine" and "So It Ends," where it's like a lot of like legato, like long notes and just like chords. Whereas the instrumentation of this is just like a lot of short piano notes, like dut 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 dut. Yeah, so it's good contrast in that sort of sense. I love Heize's use of like modulation, just like the bridge just goes into a completely different key, basically just like kind of like how Dean does it similarly as well. So I like for the most part on the album, I like how she's going a lot more into like the older style of songs that she used to do, because that was, as much as I loved what she put out last year, the one thing I was afraid of was that because she's more popular for her like her ballad tracks almost in Korea than she is with her R&B music, because like that's where she made her name. But I mean putting out a song on the Goblin soundtrack is gonna make everyone wants ballads now, so like that's Korea.
Yeah,
so.
For me, like Angela is still my favorite album from her.
Oh yeah, like that's like god tier for me basically. So I'm glad that she isn't completely abandoning it.
Yep. All right, next up we have Dispatch featuring Simon Dominic. Again, like after it sounding like a ballad in the beginning for like the third time in a row, I was curious how she was going to fake me out this time.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the electronic ballad slow jam we got didn't disappoint me at all. So I was definitely happy with that. Again, I'm gonna just stop commenting on at this point, but her vocals were really great in the song. And I thought Simon D's rap in this was really awesome as well. So.
Yeah, I think I literally later on in one of the last songs, I was like, my notes are, I'm finding it hard to continue describing Heize songs in interesting ways, but the song's good, so go listen to it. But no, like these ones, she definitely mixes up, and I have notes. But like later on in the album, it kind of goes back into like Heize's normal style. But yeah, for the song, amazing piano intro. I love the emptiness with just the bass drum and the piano. And it adds to that build up into a drop for the chorus, which I didn't expect at all, considering how empty and soft the verses are. Like you said, it's once again, it's another ballad fake out. And the super synthy instruments mixed with the vocal glitching was amazing. I knew Andrew was going to love it once the vocal glitching showed up. Simon D, I thought, killed it in his rap. I love, and like we said, Jacob, last week with Epic High, I love that he rapped over a prominently piano instrumental, because we don't get that enough anymore, and it's always amazing sounding.
Really don't. There's so many things in music that I find to be obvious, but nobody ever does it.
Yeah,
and I find it in K-pop.
Maybe nobody wants to touch it because they don't want to encroach on Epic High's territory. I don't know.
Maybe. I'm just talking about music in general, like even like English music, like there's just so many things that could be treaded upon that nobody does, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, basically everything you said is just why I love this song. It's got like this future bass sort of drop towards it, like vocal chopping. This might be one of Simon D's best like features ever. Just like he kills it completely. I can't wait. He needs to put out an album already. Like now that he's not CEO of OMG, he needs to put out some shit. Like I can't wait. A friend of mine
here in Korea, he's from Denmark, and he's telling me to recommend him some Korean music. But he likes hip hop, so I was like
Simon D.
I recommended him a few artists, and he likes Simon D a lot. So
because just his delivery is incredible. And so is Heize's on this song. Definitely, she definitely puts across the point. This actually got like the short like artsy music video type. I don't understand the music video. I missed it. I really don't understand it. Like I'll do my best to explain it without actually like you guys haven't seen it. Basically, Heize is being harassed by people in wolf masks, and they put her on a stage, and then they clap, and then they throw tomatoes at her. I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
It's like the most Heize music video possible, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, what the hell?
I don't
I'm
get it.
looking
You're
it up
watching it
right
right
now.
now? Okay.
Oh yeah, it got like a PV,
Yeah.
like a minute long.
And I don't know what Heize's hair color is at this point, because I think it keeps changing.
Mm.
It's
Like-
chroma.
It's like, no, because like there's some parts where it looks kind of like reddish. Maybe it's just like the
Yeah,
filtering, but in this on the cover of the album it looks black. I don't know. Stop changing your hair all this time. It makes me confusing.
All right. Next up, we have Hitchhiding. Not
Or
hitchhiking, hitchhiding.
Wait, according to
Or
Spotify, hith hiding.
Hith hiding.
They
It's like
missed the C.
Hiding.
Yes.
Okay.
it's like they have a
Hiding.
lisp.
Yeah.
So that's featuring Sonu Jung-a, which they
Back to back.
also featured on the Epic
2
High
weeks
album.
in a
yes.
row.
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, she.
Both times. Awesome. But yeah, like Heize's singing style in the song was really interesting. It's very like understated and almost like lazy sounding, but not in a bad way. And I thought the bass beats that were like keeping the tempo of the song were really like catchy. Like you kind of like bop your head to it. And I also think again with the twinkly sounds, I like them.
Mhm.
In the those were in like either like the bridge or pre-chorus. I don't really know what to call it, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't expect a song of this style on the album.
Yeah.
I loved the like bouncy, bassy synth line. It contrasts with
Yeah.
Heize vocals, and all the vocal layering perfectly. And I like adding that high pitched synth into the build up to the chorus was a really great idea. And then yeah, like you said, the chime synths for the chorus gave it like this nice mysterious feeling. And I'm glad they cut out the bouncy bass synth for the chorus, because it helped contrast the song well. Just overall, I thought there was a lot of really good contrasting parts to the song, that made it really stand out.
Yeah, this song's almost like twofold between the verse and the chorus. Like the verse specifically reminds me of Jam Jam by IU. It's got like with a bass line, it's got like, the same thing going for it. But once it gets into that like sort of like
Which Sunwoo Jung-a worked on too.
yeah, it makes
that song.
complete sense.
They worked on Jam Jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She worked with IU as
Yeah, so just
on a lot
you
of stuff,
definitely
and Jam
feel
Jam's
that from
one of the
here.
songs.
But the chorus with like the sort of like echoiness of the instrumentation, it's kind of got this like experimental chiptunesy type thing that kind of basically it sounds like a Sifika song, and I didn't like like pulling from like Jam Jam by IU and Sifika's music is something that I did not expect from a Heize album or a Heize track at all. So I think that's why I like this song a lot, is because it's Heize going outside of her comfort zone, and she has a very specific comfort zone. She has her niche that she's stuck in almost entirely in her whole career. So I really appreciate songs like this, and I'd like her to work more with Sunwoo Jung-a, or have Sunwoo Jung-a help produce more of the album as well, just because yeah, I think they make good music together like this, and this is probably my favorite track on the album.
Mhm.
Yeah. So next we have But I Am Your Buddy featuring Davi.
Not butt buddies,
Uh,
but I am your buddy.
So the mixture of electronic
You
like
screwed up
percussion-
Jacob's mind. He
Yeah.
just got flustered.
Not butt buddies. Okay. Anyways, so the mixture of electronic percussion and like guitars and strings, I thought was really cool sounding in the song. I was also happy to hear like some straight up like rap from Heize in this song, because like I think that's how most people became acquainted with her, was when
Yeah.
she went on like Unpretty Rap
Pretty
Star.
rap star, yeah.
And yeah, I was really happy to hear that in the song. She's especially good at like writing the beat on this track, so yeah. Also Davi's voice is really awesome. Does he have solo music?
I don't know. He's the producer.
Because he's
for
the
most of-
producer, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he produces most of Heize's music, so she usually just ends up having him feature.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this leads us back to a more usual Heize song, with the acoustic guitar and piano after the like kind of mix up we've had with the past few songs. I thought there was a great bass line that comes in after the intro and mixes with her singing really well. And I love the string line for the pre-chorus. And like you said, Jacob, I love that we got a true rap verse in the song because usually she does her like sing rapping. So it was nice to hear. Her tone's very similar to Casper's. It reminded me a lot of Casper. Yeah, I thought Abby did a great job too.
This is a song I should have enjoyed more again because I, as a huge fan of Heize's rapping, I'm glad that I thought she was just going to completely abandon it, but she surprisingly brought it back in this track. But I think it has kind of like the same points or problems as I have with She's Fine, where like I feel like the chorus just repetitiveness kind of just brings it down. And also, I don't know, like, maybe it's just I'm not really a big fan of Daebak because, like, I just find his voice just, like, super generic because there's a lot of, like, R&B, like, especially in Korean R&B singers that have, like, the same type of voice. And I understand why she's putting him on here just because he's the producer, but I don't think I like any of the songs that he's featured on because he was on our last album and I'm just like, oh, I don't like this one either, so... I don't know. Like I don't mind him being or his production necessarily, but I just find his singing just kind of like super boring.
Yeah, he is on Spotify. He has 3 singles. Four singles pretty much, but 2 of them feature Heize, and one is with Jun Hyung Young. I'm not sure who that is.
Sure. Yeah.
He only has one album. So yeah, he mostly just features on stuff. He's got a bunch of features.
Yeah,
like Mike.
He's mostly a producer.
And yeah, produces.
Yep. All right. So next we have "Umbrella Calls for Rain," which is featuring Nafla. This song sounds more similar to like a song you'd find on Heize's first mini album, "And July," which is a reason why I really liked it. Which is like that's the style I like the best from her. At least I think that's her best album again to this day, as I mentioned earlier. And once again, like the lo-fi pianos, I think stood out a lot in this. I think they fit really nicely, and also Nafla's rap verse was also pretty nice. I liked it.
Sorry if you can hear humming while I'm talking. My dad's doing something in the garage under my room. So, yeah, the like funky bass and piano mixed with the layered vocals again for the song sound great. And I thought the piano line's super interesting. It's very staccato and like intricate. And I think Nafla's verse was fantastic over the piano and bass lines. It's probably actually my favorite feature on the album. Close to Simon D's. Both of those were very good.
I actually thought the opposite. I feel like Simon D just blew it away. That Nafla's rap feature just kind of ended up being like meh. And other than that, I enjoy the song just because I'm, as a big fan of Jung-a, I really like that like sort of jazzy like boom bat hip hop type thing that she's got going. Also, as a big fan of like stand up bass, I love the bridge on this song. So yeah, it's just I felt like Nafla just if he had a better delivery, I would have enjoyed the song a bit more because I enjoyed the rest of it.
All right, so next we have "Tree Only Look at You." Best song.
Great song name.
Best top English.
Yes, and that's featuring Ju Young. Yeah, it's super chill and slow. Heize's vocals are really great as always. Again, like I feel like I don't really need to comment on that. But overall, I feel like the song didn't really stand out as much to me as compared to other songs in the album. Although I thought Ju Young's portion of the song was really, really good. I think he has a great voice.
Yeah, the song gave me like kind of almost like emo acoustic rock vibes.
Hey.
But yeah, I thought the guitar part was fantastic, and I love the mix of their vocals. They fit the song really well.
This is another song that I should like more just because I'm the biggest Ju Young stan on the face of the planet, essentially. Like, I love this dude. And don't get me wrong, like, the vocal chemistry they have on here is incredible, and I want them to collaborate more. Again, I'd say what sort of brought it down for me is just, again, the the chorus was just a bit boring, and it started off so cool too, because like the guitar part, I was just like, yo, is she about to do like some like Stairway to Heaven type thing? Like if you listen to the melody that the guitar is going for, it's like either like Stairway to Heaven or like Hotel California, that type of thing. But I don't know, yeah, the song just never really went anywhere outside of like the verse and Ju Young's feature.
Yeah. All right, next we have another great song name, Doobling.
Yep.
Well, it's
Doobling.
It's knock sir, and then parentheses doobling.
Not sir.
Knock sir, like you're knocking on the door.
Okay.
On iTunes,
'cause
it's just doobling.
It's just doobling on iTunes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really really love the instrumental on it. I thought it was gorgeous. Like the bass playing on it is incredible, and I think it really does an amazing job at like filling the space within the song. One other thing that stood out to me is the use of like the synchronized backup vocals that like appear throughout the song. I think that's my favorite part. Yeah, overall I really like the song a lot.
Yeah, starts out with a lo-fi intro that I know Andrew would love. But this is the song I got to the point where I was like, this is a great Heize song, and I'm having trouble continuously describing Heize songs in interesting ways. But yeah, I like the song a lot. It's more Heize.
It's another one that, again, I should like way more, just because, again, I love lo-fi, I love Heize's sort of take on it. But I think, again, I feel like I'm repeating myself with this, where it's just, specifically in terms of the chorus or just like where the song goes, I just find it a bit too monotone. It just kind of, I think that it's the same problem I had with But I Am Your Buddy, where it just doesn't really go anywhere musically. And I know Heize is usually kind of sticks with like that chill monotone type thing, but even for her, I felt this was just like way too bland in comparison.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I kind of agree with, is I think she needs to tread some new ground, I think. Like she does do a lot of new influences in this, but I think it's her style of singing. Like it sounds so nice and clean, but I feel like there's not enough variation.
There's only so far you can take it, really.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and I think part of the problem is this album is so long, and there is a lot of interesting things that she does with her sound, that once we get to the end and she goes back to her normal sound, it just sounds a little less interesting than it usually does.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I don't think these should have ended the album like this, and the next song I feel like should have been earlier and then gotten more experimental.
Yeah, I agree. So, speaking of the next song, it is called E.T.
Oh, no.
And cover of the Steven Spielberg movie.
Yes, the movie. So my first comment was, yes, more guitar. I want guitars to like just make a comeback in music. Bring guitars back. Make guitars great again. Anyways.
MAGA.
Yeah, I was gonna say no.
That's what MAGA stands for. Make guitars great again. Muga. Anyways. So anyways, I wish the percussion in this song was a little more like detailed, because I feel like they went with such like a crisp and sharp guitar, but then they went with kind of more of a like a lesser high fidelity like drum, and I think it felt a little out of place. But yeah, it just felt a little bit off, I think, contrasting with the sharpness of the vocals and the guitar. Other than that, I love the song, and I really like the layering they did with her voice throughout the song.
Yeah, this is more acoustic Heize. It's another great song, but like I said, I think these should have been a little earlier, due to how much more interesting things happened on the album. I do love the channel switching at the end. I love when songs do that. Does that whole like Doppler effect type sound. Yeah.
I did like this at the end though, like E.T. and E.T.'s letter at the end.
I like I like E.T.'s letter at the end.
But I like.
But we'll get there.
I like this specifically because. Well, one, the guitar, like you mentioned before, I love that, like the guitar line here, and two, it acts as almost like a reprise to She's Fine, where she's like, I'm fine, I'm fine. It's kind of got like sort of going back to the theme, so it helps close out the album perfectly in that sort of way. So the song itself I didn't like as much as like E.T.'s Letter, but the way it sort of transitions, kind of like on the Epic High album last week, where it transitioned, I forget the first song, but then to like Lullaby for a Cat sort of thing.
Yeah.
The way it's. Are you gonna talk about how it's putting actual
put
cats to sleep?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
put
love
that in
it
your
so
notes.
much.
Can I borrow someone's cat? I don't
No, that should Sam, you need to do that and record
Yeah.
your cat falling asleep to that song.
Sam, our Discord mod, Sam.
All right. Anyways, up next we have E.T.'s Letter, empty version.
What's the full?
It's the only version.
Where's the full version? Yeah.
And
Anyways,
maybe it'll be the intro to the next album.
Oh, I
Maybe.
hope. Make it a full song.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
I'm not even kidding. This is
This
the
is
best
the best
song in the
song
album.
on the
album.
album.
So
Yeah.
good.
I knew you were gonna say
So
that.
good.
He said it.
But yeah, like it starts out as like a nice piano outro and to a really, really great album, like the way I expected it to. And then it quickly just explodes into some kind of like electro jazz or something like that. And it's so awesome. Like I want a full song with instrumentation like this because it's so good. I love it. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Like
my
literally
notes
the
are
outro. Why does the outro have to be the best song?
so good. Yeah.
Why do they always do this?
Yep. I don't know why.
My notes are literally holy shit that drop. But yeah, it's just such an amazing instrumental outro, an awesome mix of piano and synths. Like you said, it's just like this jazzy synth thing. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's awesome.
Basically, it's Heize did like a West Coast like funk style song. Basically,
Yeah.
like the way that that synth is going, it almost sounds like it's attached to a vocoder, like where like the stuff you hear in like California Love or whatever. It's got almost that kind of thing, like the wah wah like type of voice. Type
Is that
thing.
the piano
voice
thing where you, like,
modulation.
blow-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, the vocoder is just weird as hell because you're literally it's you blowing into a tube while playing
It's
a keyboard.
basically it's a glorified kazoo. That's what it is.
It really is a glorified kazoo.
It's a kazoo attached to a keyboard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where the keyboard when you're playing on the keyboard is how you sort of get like the notes of whatever your voice is, and it's wild.
Yeah.
And I want to try one, or I want to learn how to play one. It's insane.
I wonder
Or
how
just,
much
like,
they cost.
Oh no, you don't. It doesn't necessarily have to just be like attached to a keyboard.
Guitar.
You can put it. No, you can put it in an actual guitar, or you can hook it up to a guitar. Like
Oh, really?
Yeah, Dave Grohl used it. Dave Grohl has there's an early Foo Fighters song where they use vocoder.
Oh, it's I think it's Generator. I think.
Yeah,
is what it's
generator.
called.
I love generator. Yeah, there's the wow.
Yeah.
That's all vocoder. That's all vocoder. Like, it's so cool. But I like that thing. And if Heize put us like an actual like actual proper song behind this, it'd be great. I'd love to see a song like this. So who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe this is just randomly put here. Maybe this is like for another album. I mean, Future Sight wasn't on the album, or First Sight, not Future Sight. It was just a random single, so maybe this is like the lead up into whatever single she'll come out with later.
Like
in the
a
year.
sequel or something.
Yeah,
who knows?
maybe. I mean, it probably isn't going to be like a mini album because this is 11 tracks is pretty hefty. So maybe it'll just probably be a single. So we'll see.
Yep. So ratings. For music, I gave it a 6.5 out of 7. Overall I really liked the tracks on the album. Like even the ones that I said didn't stand out quite as much, I still do enjoy them on their own. I think it's just some stuff blends into itself a little too much.
Yeah.
And I'd like to see a little more like variation as far as like vocal styles go. Like for example, like on I gotta find the title. I forgot what it was. Oh, on Hitchhiking. Like I thought that was really interesting. I'd like to see more like experimentation like that in the future. Yeah, overall, I think the music was really strong. I think it was a really good album. 6.5 out of 7 for music. For concept, I gave it 2 out of 3. So I only watched the Her Fine Weather music video, so it was based on that. But yeah, overall, 8.5 out of 10. I think it was really good, strong album.
Yeah, I gave it a 6.5 out of 7 for music. Pretty much loved everything, but yeah, like you said, it's some of the songs just were. It was some of the placing and just some of the songs are just more Heize, where a lot of the stuff was nice mix ups and I loved all of it. But a couple of songs could have been a little more interesting. And then 2.5 for a concept, just because music video is good. It's standard Heize, but then and then I looked at that other one while we were recording and kind of bumped up a little bit because of how weird it is. I gave it a 9 out of 10.
Cooper, what was Cooper's thoughts?
Oh, you want to go last?
Yeah, I'll go last.
Or you want me to? Okay. Cooper said, this is up there with
a hot take.
This is up there with XX as my favorite album of 2019. I can press play and just listen to the whole album on repeat over and over, which is why I love Heize. All of her music is so reliably great. She doesn't change her core sound up that much, but she plays around with her vocals and instrumentation on the album more than ever. The title track, She's Fine, Her Fine Weather, initially felt too short, but it's grown on me after every listen. I love the repetitiveness of the chorus and her melodies in the verse. The MV is really nice as well. The B-sides are all fantastic. I don't really have a top favorite. Each song is just that fantastic. I really have to mention Hitchhiding and But I'm Your Buddy. These have sounds we haven't really heard Heize try too much before, and I love she's experimenting more and more. The album is very piano heavy and less jazzy than her past couple albums, but it lets her voice do more of the work this time. All the features are really tasteful. They each got their time to shine, but don't overtake Heize. Heize is honestly my favorite soloist at this point. Her vision behind her lyrics and production is second to none in my opinion. And he gave it music 7 out of 7 and a concept 2.5 out of 3 for a 9.5 out of 10.
Okay, so Cooper's on the high end here. Okay, so I'm going with a 2.5 out of 3 for this, 3.5 for the single. Again, I sort of mentioned my issues with She's Fine. Ended up not being my favorite on the album. I gave the album tracks 3 out of 3.5. I did enjoy a lot more where she experimented, and I think it's time for Heize to leave her comfort zone. And she's definitely, it almost feels like a transitional period where a lot of the singles and like the more forward-facing stuff feels normal, whereas a lot of the album tracks, she definitely is starting to branch out there. So I think it's time for her to fully embrace that a bit more. She definitely has a mature sound at this point, so it's time to like sort of like see what other directions she can go in. Concept, I'm giving it 2.5 out of 3 though, just because I loved her outfits in She's Fine. I'm a really big fan of her style. Like, she's definitely a style icon for me. The weirdness of her music videos, again with Dispatch, like I don't understand it, but sure, I'll take it. So that's a total of 8 out of 10 on my end. So doing the math, that is a 8.7. It gets rounded up to a 9.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, 8.75. Yeah.
Yeah. So it gets
all right.
It gets the
shiny.
It gets the shiny. Not the throbbingly because I'm on the low end here.
No, we're all different.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely let us know what your thoughts are on Heize's She's Fine. Do you want her to change her style too much, or would you like her to stick with the same type of stuff that she's doing with She's Fine and I don't know, just like stuff that she's putting on like No Reason, that sort of thing? Which is your favorite feature? Were you satisfied with the features? I mean, I don't know. I'd say the features were kind of like the disappointment outside of like Sungwoo Jung-a and Simon D.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna have a name like this many like good names on it, like I expect a lot of good songs, but yeah, I don't know. That's probably like sort of high expectations that Heize puts on herself for putting out good music. But yeah, definitely let us know what your comments are in the comment section below.
Yep. It didn't do anything different at all.
It didn't do anything, period.
Exactly. And then, well, not only did it not do anything, the song, like, so there's the different parts of the song. There's the triplet part, there's like the Ella part, and all the different singing and rapping parts, and all of them sound so disjointed.